Hello, hello, everyone. Good morning, good day, and good evening, depending on where you're from. We already had quite a few people knocking on our doors, so we're letting everyone in now. Let the floodgates open. So before everyone joins in, I wanted to ask you a bit of a question. So, how many sign-up forms do you think you filled out this month? Personally, I haven't filled out too many. I think maybe two, with the intention of signing up for the discount and then canceling the subscription. But you know what? I ended up staying because their offers were quite on point and very relevant to me. So, hello, Chloe. Hello, we see you. Good to have you here. Anyone else want to share their story? If not, we can just proceed because I can see the participant number is already seems to have reached the peak. Perfect. So, let's start. Multi-step forms unlock a data trove is what we're going to be talking about today. Oh no. Okay, today I'm joined by my colleague Augustina, who is a product designer. Augustina, do you want to say hi to anyone?
Hello, how are you? I'm happy to share some of the insights that we have.
Perfect. Hi, mom. So, a couple of things to know before we get into the good stuff. The workshop is being recorded, and the recording will be available to all of the attendees shortly. We will reach out to you and reach you via the email that you signed up with the link to the recording. And feel free to ask any of your questions in the Q&A tab right below me. Just pop in there, and our beautiful people in the background are going to take care of your questions for you. So, with that out of the way, Augustina, please take it away. That rhymed.
Okay, so in just a moment, I will share my screen. Yes. Um, okay. And the multi-step form, like, what is it? Uh, so I'm happy today that you come here to join to learn. So what is this multi-step form that we are talking about? And by definition, the multi-step form is a form containing at least two steps. So it can be less, it can be more, but how does it look? So you want to collect more information, so you can put everything into one step, try to cram as much information as you can, or you can separate it into multiple steps, hence the name multi-step forms. And I guess most of you are nodding and saying, yeah, I get it, two steps instead of one sounds good. But what's the main value of the multi-step form and what's it used for? So if we had to define the main value, it's to collect more information without overwhelming the customer and not asking for too much, not scaring them away. And we see this in Omnisend as a very good option to provide, as 30% of all Omnisend merchants use email and SMS forms, and that's not counting all other options, like collecting names, collecting preferences, and so much more. And since I mentioned there are more use cases, let's go through them. What are they? So the first, as mentioned, is email and SMS, the most common one. In the first step, you collect the email, and in the second step, you collect the phone number. So how does it look in the store? You get a pop-up, the customer adds their email, and then in the next step, they see a phone number. Using that phone number, they can decide to either add it or not add it, and when they add it, and they are all signed up. When the customer enters the phone number step, they have already been subscribed by this point since they entered their email in the first step. So you're not losing any more. You're not losing any subscribers. They can either choose to fill it or not. Another use case, pretty common one, email and any other properties. It can be like a name, a birthday, maybe some kind of preference. Maybe it's important for your business to know their skin type or their body type. And showing this example, you can see it's the email and the name. So you have more information about what the person is, who they are, what's their name. You can already add it to the email and say, hey, Katie, or someone else, and be more personal to them. So how does it look like? In the first step, you enter your email, and then in the second step, you can add your name, for example. And then the person is signed up. So this multi-step form, what's the main case in this is like asking for someone, like, hey, we've already connected. Hey, you sent your email, you're interested. So why not add this little detail like your name to this form so I can just make it more personal, and it's just one more thing, so why not add it? So it's an easier transition for the end customer. And also, I have a pro tip for you. If you feel like asking for more is a bit too pushy, this is a new option we recently added. In the second step, you can add another button to skip a step, and it will skip it altogether. So, for example, in this case, the second step is the phone number step. If you add the button to skip it, the person skips the step and they reach the success. So you're not pressuring your customers to overcome it. So I've shown some use cases you can try. So let's talk about metrics. From the metrics we collect in Omnisend, we see no negative impact using multi-step forms instead of a single step. We believe that it's because the customers that are visiting your store see just the same form. It's either you're collecting more information, they see only the email. If you're collecting just email, they see the only single step email form. It looks the same to them. So what I want to say is don't be afraid of going out and trying to use multi-step forms. Okay?
Sorry,
And
Augustin,
this,
I'm just gonna jump in if that's okay.
sure.
So I think the benefit of the multi-step forms is that when you ask for the user for the email in the first step, right? And then let's say he drops off on the second step, because I think that's a pretty common case, right? So
Yeah.
you'll still have the email
Yes.
subscriber, as
Yes.
opposed to if you ask for both of these information points at the same time, and then he fills it out but doesn't really want to leave his mobile number. He's just gonna get off, and you don't have a subscriber. You lose it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you so much. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So people don't run away, they're not scared. Very great. Another case, which is very popular, very good performing, is a yes no plus email. Uh, what do I mean by yes no? Is in the first step you ask, hey, do you want to get a discount? And most people will say, well, yes, of course I do. And then you ask for their email. And since I already answered yes, I'm incentivized to leave the email because I kind of committed that I'm interested. So showing how this works, I get a question, do I want it? Do I want a discount? Yes, I do. Of course I do. I fill in my email and then I submit the form. And after the success, I receive the email and the discount in the email. And this is our top performer. Some brands we see the sign-up rate rise from 2.57% to 49.93. Yes, that is the sign-up rate. That means it's 19 times higher. That's very amazing results. So I recommend you trying this, as it's not very hard to do. And that's not all. You can use not only as the simple forms, but also combine it with the Wheel of Fortune. So what can you use with the Wheel of Fortune? For example, it's email and SMS. So in the first step, you spin the wheel, you enter your email, and in the second step, you get an option to enter the phone number. So for example, I get a form, it's with the wheel, I enter my email because I'm interested in winning something. Seems very enticing, so I'm waiting for the results, and I get 10%. That's pretty good. And I get an option to add my phone number. Well, I'm interested in that 10%, so I will leave it here. I can also add an option to skip this phone step and get my discount when I reach the success. Another option is using that yes no that I mentioned. In the first step, you ask the yes no question, and in the second step, you spin the wheel. So basically, the first step, your commitment, you commit to this option, and in the second step, you are getting a discount. So how does it look? You say, yes, I'm interested, and you got this wheel of phones, and I'm interested in this wheel of phones, so I'm looking what phone will I win. And yeah, I won the white one. And I can use this code to continue my purchase of the white phone. And the final case I can show you today is having the wheel only in the first step and the second step being the email. So how does it look like? You have a wheel. You say, yeah, spin it, because why not? And you get 20%. Of course, I want that 20% because it's a good deal. But then I get an email, and then, of course, I'm interested, so I have to leave my email, and I get a prize, and I got 20%, and everyone's happy. So that's from the Wheel of Fortune. In terms of metrics, we recommend you to try the Wheel of Fortune because on average, uh, Wheel of Fortune forms have a sign-up rate of 11.6 versus around 3% for a typical sign-up form. So it's a very high-performing form with a very high-performing tactic for you to try. And that's not all. We also have a back in stock option. So you can use the back in stock with email and SMS as well. So how does it work? It's easier to show you. I have a back in stock option at the bottom. You turn on the form, you enter your email, and after that, you are asked for the SMS because it's the thing I'm asking for is very. I want to know it as fast as I can because I'm very interested in the product. Just don't forget, if you add your email, you have to set up a back in stock automation with the SMS as well, so your customers who left their email would get notified as fast as possible about the new product coming in. Yeah, a water break for me. And I've shown you a lot of pop-ups examples, but this also applies to other form types like landing pages. So you can create a landing page with multiple steps and collect them on your website for your social media campaigns. You can use them for embedded forms to embed it into your website and provide it with multiple steps. And the little brother of pop-up, the flywheel form, you can add it also, use it as multiple steps, and all the use cases I've shown you. And we have a vast template library. If you're ever stuck, use it for inspiration. So as you can see here, there are multiple templates, multiple styles. We have different setups with different filters. Each use case I showed you is also available in the template library for you to just try and use. You can use the filter to filter out the multi-step forms, or there's also the email and SMS forms. So anything that you want, you can find it here. Yeah, and now is the demo part. So I'll need to reshare my screen, so bear with me a moment. Mhm. So here you can see I am in Omnisend, and I will be creating a form. Just a minute. So here we are entering the form library. I can pick any of the forms I mentioned, but I will try to recreate it from scratch. So here we are. Currently it's two-step form, step 1 and step 2, but for demo purposes, I'll remove it. So now I have a typical email form that the first step is email, the second step is a success step, and a subscribe step. So if I want to add multiple steps, I have to add a new option and click next step. By default, we create an SMS step. So I can edit this text, for example, change anything I want. Say, wow, this email phone number is set by your current country. So if you added that I'm in the United Kingdom, it will be checked to the United Kingdom. And it's also important that next to the phone number, there's a legal block. So you can also add to comply with various laws. In the EU, it's usually compared as marketing consent. In the US, it's called the TCPA usually. And you'll have to add your privacy policy. Link here, policy, as part of the legal requirements. So that's how you created your first form, and I'll go in a minute to the second one.
So I'm just going to jump in once again. I think it's another cool thing that we could mention is that even though if you try enabling your form without the privacy policy, it's going to show an error for you. So and show exactly where that is. So maybe you could show this in the demo.
Yeah, I'll release it. So if there's any error in my form, it will show if there are issues with my form. So for example, in this case, there's no link to the privacy policy. So I have to press to fix the issue, and I am here in the legal block, exactly where I need to put it in. And you'll have to go to your website, find your privacy policy, and add it here. So everything is good and tidy.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, and now getting to the yes, no case. So we are here again at the simple email step, and you heard through the webinar that the yes, no is an amazing case that works very well, and you want to try it. So what do you do? So how I would recommend is to add the next step, remove these two blocks. Then there's some magic. We have an option to switch steps. So now this step that was in step 2 is now in step 1, and in the second step, there's the email. So here we go. And now all we need to do is write, do you want a discount? And you say, the button has to say go to next step, and you say yes. And the other button, we can change the style. We can say to close the form, and it says no. And that's it. I'll just add less padding here for more style. And that's about it. You've created, in a few minutes, a yes/no form that in the first step you will ask, oh, are people interested? And in the second step, you will get ask for their email. And it's one of our highest converting ones, so I encourage you to try. And a minute break for me. Okay. Another thing that I can mention is even though we add the SMS as predefined, that doesn't mean you have to collect SMS if you don't want it. Your marketing can be different. You can add the first name. You can add radio buttons, collect some kind of property. For example, say, do you like pink or do you like orange? Or do you have any other kind of preferences? So there are many ways of how you can use these forms. Okay, and I'm going out because the next thing I want to show you is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, we're back. So, talking about the Wheel of Fortune, oh, for example, you can take the most simple base case when you have a wheel and an email, and then you want to add an SMS. So again, the same simple process. You press the next step button and you add an SMS step. And another case is the last one that I want to show is how to set up that only in this step you spin the wheel, and in this step you collect the email. So how does it set up? It's very similar. You need to change the button to go to next step when you have no email in this step. And in this step, you need to add the email as I did before. And yeah, that's about it. Taking back to the Q&A, Arnold.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Augustina. I will take over the screen sharing. And oh wow, we're gonna need to skip by a couple of steps. Let's go to the Q&A section. Okay, so we got a few questions that were asked beforehand, and we're going to present them here, and Augustina is going to answer them. So first of all, can you A/B test a one-step form versus a multi-step form?
Yes, you can. In version A, you have to set up a one-step form, and version B, you have to set up multiple steps. So this is the best way to know whether one-step or multiple-step forms are effective to you by testing it out and using our A/B test option.
Yeah, I think that's the fundamental truth that you need to keep testing. When it comes to campaigns, when it comes to forms, the best results that you're going to get is by testing different things, because there are a lot of variables. There are no global statistics about the best copy, the best signups, strategies, etc. Your audience is different and everything else is different. So it's hard to tell. So next question, can all customers see the discount in the success tab? Can the discount be shown only to new subscribers?
So yes and yes. You have to see the discount for only new subscribers, you have to have both success and subscribe sections. If you want all customers to see the discount, you have to remove the subscribe sections. Would it be best to show it?
Of course, I can stop sharing if you would like.
So as you can see, we have a discount in the success section and the subscribe. So what happens is when a customer subscribes, if they are already subscribed, they will land in this section. If you remove it, and the issue is that they will not see the discount because they are already subscribed. If you remove it, then all customers will see the discount, and all customers can get the value that you want if that's part of your marketing.
So, what kind of information can you collect in multiple steps?
So you can collect everything that you can think of that you need. It can be SMS, the commonly mentioned, the name, the last name, any kind of preferences like uh, what you like, what you eat, what's your body type, what's your preference, anything that helps you more personalize the experience that you are building.
Yeah, basically, the only limit is your imagination, right? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Would you say there's a lot of friction if you ask too many questions? Just curious.
Um, I don't think that's a lot of friction because the person is already committed and they are uh, you're using that. Hey, it's just one more thing, and if it's like something easy, like of like your name, so hey, I don't know, so well, you know, you just add your name. It's all right. You
Yeah,
already have
yeah,
the
yeah.
email.
Are you a dog or a cat person? Just pick one and that's
Yeah,
it.
it's
You're good to
easier.
go. Yeah, of course.
You can
Okay,
send a
and
totally different email then from a dog to a cat person.
of course, of course. So we have reached the end. Thank you everyone for attending. That was amazing. Ira seemed to have answered all of the questions in a Q&A tab. If you have any questions right now, now is the time to ask. But other than that, I think it's goodbye from us. So Augustina, any closing remarks, any summary, any last words?
I hope this was useful, and I hope that you will be using multi-step forms from now and will find how to fit it into your marketing.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, thank you everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.